Just steps away from the bright lights of Broadway and the heart of Times Square is a steakhouse unlike any other.
Restaurants like Gallagher's, you just can't recreate. It's part of New York.
Gallagher's first opened in 1927 as a speakeasy during the Prohibition. It quickly became a go-to gathering spot for gamblers, sports figures, and actors. Dean Pohl is the restaurant's new owner, a dream decades in the making.
My father had a restaurant in Brooklyn, Sheepshead Bay, Pappas Restaurant. I cleaned the floor, I cleaned shrimp, folded napkins.
From there, Dean knew he wanted one of his own someday.
I came into the city in 2000. I bid on the boathouse in Central Park.
A few years later, he set his sights on Gallagher's.
This restaurant was owned by Jerry Brody. He had passed away in, I think, 2001. I pursued his widow, Marlene Brody, in about 2004. I had to ask her whether or not she'd be interested in divesting herself of Gallagher's, and that didn't come to fruition at that time.
But in February of last year, she finally agreed.
The first thing that I wanted to preserve was the revolving door. Meat cooler was here, but as I said, we renovated everything. The lights that are up above were here, so we had them all shined up. The bar is exactly the same with the exception of that refrigerator right there. All the floors in the restaurant are new.
But what didn't change, the quality of the food.
This is a porterhouse steak for two?
Gallagher's is actually one of only a few restaurants in the city still allowed to cook with hickory coals.
This is going to be really interesting, considering it took 5 minutes to put on the gloves. This is called a little bit of kosher salt. Salt.
Toss it in.
Now what do you do?
Now you get to watch it cook.
I eat better than I cook.
And for employees like Roberto Gonzalez, Gallagher's has been more than just a job.
I started in 1978 to be a dishwasher. I was box watcher, and then I work in the kitchen.
And why have you stayed so long?
Because it's a nice house to work, very nice people, I know. It was a family before, and now it's a family, still a family.
A family that Dean wants everyone to be part of.
You're a boy who was 12 years old, who came to work with his father, mopping the floors and learning the values. And now you have big stars sitting at certain tables. Do you ever stop and say, whoa?
I still mop the floors.